Hello, my noble band of outlaws. Outlaw Samurai coming at you live with a video. Sorry about the respirator, but this video is a bit of a special one for two reasons. One, the name of the sword I ordered, and two, the type of blade it has. One is the name of the sword is Scorn. It is made by Sokojikara. And Scorn sounds like Scorpion, which sounds like Mortal Kombat, hence the respirator to make me sound somewhat like Scorpion. Although, hold on one second. What do I do that like? Go over! Yeah, I can't do the Scorpion thing. Not as well as my dad can. Literally, my dad missed his opportunity in life. He could have been Scorpion's voice actor. This is going to be my new unboxing knife. Just like ADHD's world, but there's two big differences. One, mine's actually sharp, and two, you know your boy be pimping with that gold chain. But enough of my ramblings. Let's get to the sword. Now, the reason I said this was going to be a special kind of thing is the sword also kind of has a two-parter. One, it's my first ever T10 sword. Ooh, this package has a very nice weight to it, and my knife just stabbed itself into the... Literally, it fell out of my hand and stabbed itself into the floor. That's how you know your knife is good. When it falls out of your hand, blade first, and stabs itself into the ground. No, this is my first ever T10 sword, and it's not just my first T10 blade, it's also my first differentially hardened sword. Now, I have ordered another T10 sword, and that will be coming at a later date. That is the Iron Tiger Mitsudome sword, which Matthew Jensen has reviewed. Saw the review, I liked it, so I decided to get my own Iron Tiger sword, and to see how good Iron Tiger Forge is, which is Cult of Athena's exclusive house brand. Comes in very sparse packaging. Let's get to the, put that away for a second. We got the stereotypical congratulations thing. I bought this sword from TrueSwords.com, and again, first impressions right now, I'll be giving the details once I, on this thing, once I do the review and cut with this. But let's get this open, shall we? In classic reveal fashion. Da 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 da. Oh, oh, very interesting. It's shorter than I thought it would be. Far shorter. It looked much longer in the pictures on the website. It's got a teardrop pattern to the saya, so you can index where it is without even having to pick it up. But the tsuba itself, this is the biggest tsuba that has ever come on any sword I've ever bought, and I like the shape of it. Let's see here. This is called the Scorn katana, so I'm guessing that the kanji on this tsuba are all about curses and whatnot. We have what looks like to be an old man, a monk. Ooh, and my favorite part of this sword already, a freaking demon. Right there. Anyone who knows me knows I have a thing for demons. I just like demons. The manuki on this sword are... I know where these manuki are from. They're from those two statues that stand like this outside of Buddhist temples that look pissed off all the time. Those are the manuki are symbols of the weapons that they use. So maybe that's the motif they're going for. I don't entirely know. In my mind, the word, if you're going to name a sword after the word scorn, like hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, the whole blade is about revenge. The whole motif should be vengeance or fury. And with the demon and what looks to be an old monk motif on this sword, I can kind of see where they're going with it. Suka feels nice, nicely shaped, not too bulky. Wish it was a bit longer though, because I do like long Suka. The diamonds are fairly even. The Suka Ito wrap is tight. I can't really move it at all. But let's see about the blade. Ooh, it has good retention. And naturally has a sword condom on it. So let's get that sword condom off. Now I believe this is supposed to be differentially hardened. So it'll have a softer spine and a harder edge. Ooh, and it does have a hamon pattern. There is a hamon. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. If I... right there. See right here, you can see it's a hamon. It has a natural hamon pattern. The blade feels very sharp. Not the thickest sword in the world. Perfectly straight. Good balance. All in all, first impressions, I very much like this sword. The hamon pattern goes all the way up to the tip. And I have no reason to doubt that this isn't differentially hardened. Let's see. Paper test. Well, hot damn. It's sharpened all the way down to the base. I can't actually wait to do the cutting video for this sword. And holding it out like this, actually, it doesn't really have a tachikaze, but holding it out like this, I actually feel the Suka core is just right for the length. It's supposed to have a 28-inch blade, as far as I remember. The Kashira, Fushira, Habaki, everything is tight. And it has sokojikara etched onto the blade. And this Habaki I actually very much like. It's got a little bit of a pattern going for it, and what they're trying to mimic with the Habaki is, historically, some Japanese swords actually had a two-piece Habaki, where you'd have the lower half and then the upper half, when you put the sword together, everything would be under pressure and tension and so on and so forth. And usually the upper half, to my knowledge, would be made out of like gold and gold or silver or some precious metal. And then the secondary half would be made out of copper or brass or what have you lying around. It's just something you usually see on higher end swords. And this, while it doesn't have it, they actually just ground it and shaped it to a way that it resembles a two-piece habaki. Which, not going to lie, I actually find very aesthetically pleasing. This whole sword is very pleasing to me. Now, normally on TrueSwords.com, this sword sells for $314. I got it when it was on discount price for $200, but I ended up paying like $230 something for shipping. I did add the extra $5 for the priority shipping, so it'd get to me a little faster. But overall, aside from the length, which I thought the blade would be about maybe yay longer, and the Suka core maybe yay longer, but all in all, I very much like this. A very light, nimble blade. Again, perfectly straight. And as Matthew Jensen would say, very few rippling. The blade is actually very flat, and the hamon, when you put it in the light, is easily seeable. It's just my camera isn't doing the hamon pattern on this sword justice, so it is actually differentially hardened. Got some good vibration to it. Now, before I end the video, get that. Again, quoting Matthew Jensen, get the schmutz out of here. Set that down so I can get the schmutzy schmutz out of here. No stuff in the bottom of the saya. The saya is just a plain Jane cheap saya, but it does have some dimension to it with its teardrop shape, which aesthetically I like. Not going to complain, because usually whenever I'm carrying swords like this, here's the thing, I don't usually put swords in a belt when I'm going to actively use them. I mean, I'll carry them in a belt, but usually when I use them, like for sparring, I'll have the sword scabbard in my hand, and I'll either put the scabbard behind me completely, use the scabbard in conjunction with the sword, or throw the scabbard away. Which I know any of you know the legend of Sasaki Kochiro and Musashi. Basically said, I've prepared myself to die. No, it's just I find the scabbard on my belt. I always think I'm going to bump the sword into it or bump into it something, and it's going to throw off my movements. But let's check the fit, shall we? Ooh, it makes such a satisfying click sound. It's very quiet compared to the $700 Warrior O katana. I can just push it out with my thumb, and let's see if I can do that whole samurai trick where I push out with my hand. I can do it, but it's not as fast as with my thumb. Very nice retention. I really have to start shaking it before it pops out. So the retention's good. And I'm naturally, like any of you who know me, you know I'm going to take the Sageo cord off and probably do some sort of fancy wrap of my own. Or I don't really use the Sageo cord much. I mainly use it when I put the sword on my back, which I know is not historically accurate, but I do have valid reasons for doing this, and one of them is simply because I can, especially with a shorter blade. Alright? Because, yeah, I may look exposed, but with a shorter blade, there's good reason for doing this. Because I can basically draw, and while I'm drawing, slash. So I basically do reverse EI when I do that. I also tend to put the sword on my back just out of convenience, because it's a lot easier to carry a sword on your back than your hip. Especially if you're not going to be actively using it for a while. I just find it a lot easier and more comfortable to walk around with the sword like this than if I was like this all the time. But that's just my personal preference. So, that's my unboxing and first impressions on the Scorn katana, which I will which I have given the name Scorpion. Yes, not original, but I don't care. This is my sword. I can name it what the fuck I want. So until next time, my noble band of outlaw samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe in using your weapons, and look forward to the Mitsu-Dome katana coming up in a few days, or something. And one more thing. I am going to start making I'm going to start doing kind of what Matthew Jensen and Mr. Excalibur does, just really to save time and reduce the number of uploads I have to do, and just make one big video about the sword. So, there's that. Or if you guys are comfortable with how I usually do things, unboxing, cutting video, and then review, I'll stick with that. But until next time, my noble band of outlaw samurai tells all y'all, be crazy rednecks, be safe and use your weapons, and I'm out. Peace.